Okay, let's discuss this little topic pertaining to gaslighters, people that act as if what you see is not what you see. And it's funny because a lot of this comes from what I call them normies, which is what they are. See, comic books now are global and they're mainstream. Comic book culture, that is, it's a corporate culture now, which it used to be more nerd, and it's not anymore. So you got everybody wants stuff that they don't even follow, books that they don't read. They want it changed for their own betterment or to suit sometimes, if not all the time, their personal social issues and agendas rather. And one thing that I hear, and some of you guys probably hear, and I know that it frustrates you a lot, is if you're arguing with these weirdos, which you shouldn't because they're stupid and you don't want to get dragged down in the mud with these weirdos. Again, they're the pigeon crapping on the chess table. They're stupid. Make fun of them. Nonetheless, if you do choose to argue with these guys, you may get frustrated, and some of that may stem from this idea that, for example, just using this as an example, it is not the only example, but I'm just using this as an example, and that's talking about tokenization. So with tokenization, a lot of excuses that you hear and tokenization again, I got to define it because someone will come across this video that has never watched my videos. And what I mean when I say tokenization, I'm talking about these race, gender, sexuality swaps, generally of classically white characters is how they are. And when you oppose that, of course, you get all the excuses, racism, integral to the character, who cares? Actor, actress was the best for the job. We all know that's a lie. But they say all those and they utilize those excuses. Basically, what those are is a way to get you to shut up. Because you got to take a step back and understand where it is these guys are coming from. And these people are generally folk that are completely unfamiliar with they're unfamiliar with the actual like books themselves, which is if you're a guy like myself, that is what you are. Yes, that's where you come from. It's not like the movie necessarily sold you on, or upcoming movie sold you on a comic, which it can sometimes, but you get what I'm saying. It's like you're rooted in the books. So when you see something is about to be depicted live action, you're excited because you get to see what you have read come to life. Now, again, with those excuses for the tokenization, you're dealing with people that generally have zero connection, very little connection to the source material. So, a change in visual, for example, and a big time change where the character doesn't even look, especially doesn't act, but they don't even attempt to look like what it is that you used to looking at. They're just a character in name, and you get the gaslighters, but the folks that advocate for this tokenization, who have no connection to it, they want you to shut up. But you can't allow them to gaslight you in that regards. And this is what I would say to these stupid people. Now, I'm not saying you would use this as an argument because it's not going to do you any good. But this is more so me talking to you guys who are still thinking that you can reason with unreasonable people. You look, comic books, for example, it's a visual medium. It's a visual medium, meaning that you're reading and following a story, and what's part of it. It's not like just a regular novel, right? It's you have graphic novel comics, but you get what I'm saying. Is that it's a purely visual deal, and that's what's telling the story. So it is completely reasonable for you to look at something and expect the live action depiction to be in some way related to what you viewed for so long. So these weirdos actually think it's something wrong with you, which is why, again, I'm telling you, they're stupid people. They expect you to completely disregard what you have looked at and not ever reference that When you have some sort of expectation for what's going to happen in a live action setting, that's a stupid thing. And this is why when people say, oh, it's not a big deal, who cares, blah, 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 of course the person that is actually rooted in this and reads this stuff is going to care. What the fuck am I reading? You're talking about a medium driven completely by its visual. Yes, there's a story to be told. Yes, there's going to be dialogue being told. Yes, there are people that are doing cool things. You see the YouTubers, for example, adding like voiceover work to this stuff, which is very cool, but you get what I'm saying. It is a visual medium. Why on earth would you allow someone to disregard your expectation when you, visual medium, you expect obviously that to, it's not going to be a direct adaptation, but it should, and you're completely reasonable to expect this, the character should look like what they've looked like. How can I believe it when you tokenized it? Well, this character got a race change or a race swap going from the books to the live action. Okay. You have every right to complain about that. Well, this character, you see that goofy ass Starfire in Titans. I don't give a damn how beautiful. I've said it before. You might think the actress is. That chick don't look a goddamn thing like Starfire. Again, gaslighters and the weirdos will say, well, you're racist. You don't like black this, black that, and all sorts of stuff. Oh, you're a black person. You're supposed to be happy because this black actress got this gig. Shut the fuck up. That character that she's playing in that show is not Starfire. She don't look a goddamn thing like Starfire. Nothing like Starfire. And you have every right, obviously, to complain in the event that adaptation does not live up to the expectation of the bare minimum of how that character looks. And again, not always is it race. This is why I'm saying it's not exclusive to that. But you expect the character to be somewhat believable. Doesn't mean that it has to be 100% the exact same. But it is very easy to say, hey, this character is white and straight. Or let's, stick it to the race. This character is white. Okay, bring him into the live action adaptation. You expect him to be fucking white. Jimmy Olsen, which is arguably the worst tokenization that we've seen, because you not only changed the character and how they looked and but you also changed how they acted. That guy isn't Jimmy Olsen. You went from some scrawny, redhead, freckled dude to some brawny 6 foot something bald black dude. Yeah, his name's Jimmy Olsen. That ain't no fucking Jimmy Olsen. But the weirdos who will accept literally anything that these people give them. If Hollywood gives it to them, they will digest it. They don't care because they have no connection to it. So when you see the change, obviously, look, man, you've invested all this money, you've invested all this time, this effort in getting lost into this world, and then that world is about to be adapted, and it doesn't look anything like the world that you, at bare minimum, expect it to look. There's something wrong with them, not you. The fact that these folks act like you can't complain about that, or there's something wrong with you, or you're dramatizing something, or you're overreacting in the event that you just point out, well, that goofy character is not the goofy character, and we're sick of these tokenizations. We're sick of you doing adaptations of characters that don't look any goddamn thing like what it is that they look like because of some vanity project, or it's being treated like a vanity project for some Hollywood elite so they can tell a very loose ass story and utilize names and maybe a power set or two, but it's not the character. Don't allow them to do that. You have every, of course, right, but also it's very reasonable to do that. We're talking about a visual medium. We already see it. This isn't something that we have to like kind of conjure up. If we're like reading a regular novel and we have to envision what this is, we already see it, right? That's the fucking point of the comic book. So why would I not fucking expect as a reader for that character to at minimum look and resemble the person that I've seen and the visual medium it is that we're customers of. So again, when you break it down like that, it sounds fucking stupid, right? That anybody would ever even complain about you complaining. Because it's a visual medium. Visual medium. This is where they're supposed to be grabbing all this information from. Then they do a live action depiction, and then it's dead on arrival because I don't know what the hell this is. This is not anything that I can get stoked for. I can't get invested in it because I was already invested in something else. But the tokenizers and the people that definitely, if it's a change that they can look at it and say, okay, this kind of advances their like personal social preference, they love that shit. But they have no connection to the source material. Everything that they know about it is going to be Googled like right before they saw the movie or right after it got announced on some Comic-Con or some shit. That's it. That's at best. And then they'll become an expert overnight and then tell you how much you don't know. Oh, why do you care about that? Don't allow them to. You have, of course, every right, but it's a very reasonable thing to care about that kind of thing.
You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.